товарищи, дорогие родные, братья, сестры, друзья, вы все великолепно понимаете, какие знаменательные дни и знаменательный час для меня, данный час, данные дни. И для моей 60-летней жизни это самое, может быть, значительное, никогда мною до сих пор не пережитое, прекрасное, чудесное время. Я благодарю родной мой советский народ, родную мать мою. Я благодарю родное наше советское правительство, правительство нашей республики и правительство всего нашего Советского Союза. Я приношу сыновную, глубочайшую, самую горячую мою благодарность родной коммунистической партии.
Чокморов, как художник, как актер, это был подарок для всей кинематографии.
Roughly 2 decades after Stalin's death, the Soviet Union entered a new phase known as the era of stagnation, marked by slow reforms and a tightly controlled but culturally vibrant society. Amid the constraints of Soviet ideology, Kazakh identity, long suppressed by collectivization, political purges and Russification policies, began to reawaken. The 1960s, 80s saw profound transformations in how Kazakhs understood their heritage, language and culture. This period can be considered a cultural revolution of identity, a time when historical memory, art and yes, consciousness aligned to reshape national awareness under the watchful eyes of the Soviet regime.
Kazakh intellectuals like Mukhtar Avezov and Yermuhan Bekmakhanov fostered national identity through scholarly work that reinterpreted Kazakhstan history and cultural heritage despite Soviet restrictions. As noted by Kutaybergenova, the scholarly contribution of Avezov and Bekmakhanov enabled Kazakhs to reclaim their historical agency and reinterpret resistance movements as legitimate expressions of national identity rather than reactionary feudalism as Soviet orthodoxy had previously dictated. These growing intellectual movements reconnected people with their roots, even within the narrow limits of state-approved narratives.
As Stakovsky states, the anti-nuclear movement Nevada Semipalatins, which emerged in the late 18th under the leadership of poet Oljas Suleymanov, mobilized hundreds of thousands of Kazakhs against nuclear testing in their territory. This movement explicitly linked environmental protection with national sovereignty, arguing that the national nuclear program treated Kazakh lands and people as expendable, thereby transforming ecological activism into an expression of national identity and establishing a connection between the protection of Kazakh territory and the preservation of Kazakh cultural identity that would continue into the post-Soviet era.
In December 1986, massive protests erupted in Almaty against the Soviet government's appointment of an ethnic Russian leader, marking a turning point of Kazakhstan's road to independence. Thousands of young Kazakhs emerged under the national banners, demanding cultural autonomy. The unrest soon spread to
В этом здании учился Мухтар Марханович Ауэзов, писатель, академик. Наш Мухтарая.
In the region and become a key moment of the birth of modern Kazakh national identity.
Хотя само время неизмеримо, и не может быть остановлено ни на мгновение. Фотография, кинопленка все же как бы останавливает его, запечатлевая для нас и потомков наших образ времени.
From the 1916s to the 1918s, Kazakh national identity gradually reawakened despite Soviet restrictions. Through literature, historiography, environmental activism, and public protest, Kazakhs reclaimed their cultural heritage and expressed national interests. This process unfolded alongside broader Soviet changes, such as Khrushchev's Tau and Gorbachev's Glasnost. The cultural foundation built during this period later supported Kazakhstan's transition to independence, showing how national consciousness can grow under repression and prepare the ground for political change.